We'll start seated up on that blanket, just giving our sits bones some nice cushion. And then my encouragement to you is lengthen the legs out. Give yourself a little space. You might be tempted to keep those big toes together, but giving yourself some space is going to widen your foundation and it's going to help with the rest of the warm up of our body. Now, as we hang out and listen to some poetry together, your body might be asking for some movement, some stretching, some shifting. Do it. Invite your awareness as you explore your body. Pay attention to its wants, its asks, its curiosities this morning, right? Delight in them, entertain them, be present with them. And if the poetry hits the mark for you, beautiful. But if you just want to be in your body, also beautiful. So, from wherever you'd like to be, let's take a few deep breaths together just to invite ourselves and our awareness to become present. On your next breath in, fill that space behind the belly button. And then let the breath go out the mouth nice and messy. 2 more times, big full breaths. Filling the body all the way. And then let them go. Maybe even give an audible sigh. Real messy. One more time. And then find a rich, full inhale and exhale that feel good in this moment as we explore these words together. The first poem I read is written by Richard Feynman, and he was a theoretical physicist. He won the Nobel Prize. So, brilliant mind. And this is what he had to say. The poem is called Atoms with Consciousness, Matter with Curiosity. There are rushing waves, mountains of molecules, each stupidly minding its own business, trillions apart, yet forming white surf in unison. Ages on ages before any eyes could see, year after year, thunderously pounding the shore, as now. For whom? For what? On a dead planet with no life to entertain, never at rest, tortured by energy, wasted prestigiously by the sun, poured into space, a might makes the sea roar. Deep in the sea, all molecules repeat. The patterns of one another, still complex, new ones are formed. They make others like themselves, and a new dance starts, growing in size and complexity. Living things, masses of atoms, DNA, protein, dancing a pattern ever more intricate. Then out of the cradle, onto dry land, here it is, standing. Atoms with consciousness, matter with curiosity. Stands at the sea, wonders at wondering. I, a universe of atoms, an atom in the universe. I'll read that again. I, a universe of atoms, an atom in the universe. Right? How vast we are to be trillions upon trillions of atoms making up this thing we call self, and yet how tiny we are, a speck on the shore of the universe. Our class this morning is all about the crown chakra, the 7th chakra. It really used to intimidate me, right? Because it's not a part of the physical body. So how do you teach opening it? How do you talk about this space up here, the crown chakra? And as I learned and grew in my practice, what I realized is that the crown chakra is the reminder of our oneness. This is the place where we are so finite and tangible and yet infinite, right? Where we own our oneness. And so this is our crown chakra, and that is the purpose of our class today, is to dive deep into our oneness, our interconnectedness. with ourselves, with everything around us. This next and last poem is by Haley Nettle, and she teaches somatic movement. You can find her at integrativeembodiment.uk, and it's called We Are Stardust. Do you know that we are 93% stardust? Yes. We are stardust, inseparable from the largest of the large, the smallest of the small, made of the memories of galaxies, of wild rivers, of space between the walls. We sometimes build around ourselves. I am in the universe, and the universe is in me. It is we. It is you and me together. We. It is in all we see, in all we smell, in all we taste and touch, in every vibration that brings music to our ears, in every oscillation, in laughter, as it is in tears. There is nothing we are not. There is no box by which we can define the limitlessness of our hearts and of our minds. We are already free. And still, here I am, a me amidst the we. My own star amongst stars, weaving threads through eternity. We are all made of each other, yet we also each behold our own unique light, our own color, and our own story to be told. And like a choir, we come together and we offer all we bring, uniting one to the other through all the songs we sing. In a moment of eternal silence, I turn to meet your gaze. Once more, I am in awe, and my heart is set ablaze. For when we truly meet each other, show up naked as we came, we can celebrate our differences, no need for judgment, blame, or shame. And if you are not ready, I will meet you as you are. For there is nothing you need to be from me. You are your own perfect, bright, shining star. The walls around me crumble as you see me as I am. And in seeing me, I see you. I am here with you. I am here with you. I am in the universe, and the universe is in me. It is our destiny. It is the way we sing in and out of tune. It is the way we flit in and out of time. It is the way we speak in and out of rhyme. It is in you, and it is in me. It is we. As we weave our threads through and into eternity. All right, that was a long opening. But let those words sink in for a moment. You might even take both hands, place them over your heart center, take a deep breath into the body and just receive. It can be hard to grasp our oneness, our intrinsic worthiness. And yet, the more we do it, the more beautiful life becomes. The easier and more pleasurable interconnectedness becomes, both our connectedness with ourself and self with others. As we start movement today, on a deep breath in, you might sweep the arms out wide, pressing through those fingertips, and then exhale, palms together towards the heart center. Let's continue with the breath, really pressing length through the arms, reaching. And then as you pull towards the heart center, press those palms together, engage the muscles of the arms. So really exploring movement, taking deep, full breaths to fill that space behind the belly button. And with each deep breath in, you might just embrace our oneness and pull that into the heart center. Let it settle in. A few more times just like this, warming up the shoulders. If it doesn't feel great to reach the arms out high, you might simply go wide and then bring them in. So do what feels good. All movement is beautiful in your beautiful body. We are a choir, right? And in that choir, we are a choir of movement here. It takes all different kinds. It takes all different places, shapes, desires to make up the rainbow, the choir of movement that we are. One more deep breath in. Pull it into the heart center. Beautiful. On your next inhale, we're going to reach the arms out and up once more. This time as you exhale, right hand plants fingertips away. That left hand is going to reach on over towards that right wall. And as you do this, I want you to anchor that left hip down into the earth. It's almost like it's glued. Sometimes I imagine that there's like a bolt that is screwed in, right, from my hip into the wall or into the floor. And then we're going to reach all that length through the left side body, out through those fingertips, exploring the stretch all along through the rib cage, through the hips. You might even bring that mind's awareness into your rib cage. And with each deep breath, can you bring a little more space, a little more length to all those intercostal muscles between each rib? Each inhale stretches them a little further. Beautiful. On your next exhale, keep pressing through those fingertips, but you're slowly going to twist, rotating your heart center down towards the earth. You might even plant that left hand. You might continue to reach towards those fingertips or through those fingertips. And just notice how this stretch has transformed. No longer through the side body. Now we're in the rib cage, in the back body. On an inhale, open it back up. Find the side stretch. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. And you might pause here for a moment, finding that side stretch, or you might sweep that left arm open, rotating the heart center towards the sky, turning the heart center, or turning the gaze skyward, excuse me. And then on an exhale, close it up, finding this big side body rotation, exploring whatever stretch your body is asking for here. Maybe you hang out somewhere, right? Maybe you're like, oh, this one move feels extra good. Be there. Nobody knows your needs like you do. Beautiful. On your next inhale, rise up tall. Shake it out, roll the shoulders. Take a moment and notice, how does the body feel? One shoulder, one arm may feel effortful and the other not. Maybe you feel heat or a little mobility in places and others not. The power is in noticing, taking time. And then on your next breath in, press through those fingertips. Exhale, switch sides. First, we lengthen through the side body, right? Anchor down through that bolt. Hello, nature. In the hip, press out through those right fingertips. Whew. Be here. And if you really want to get into the side body, you can bend this left elbow in towards the body to really stretch all through that right side. And then again, exhale, rotate the heart center towards the earth. Keep reaching through those fingertips. Inhale, open it back up when you're ready to your side stretch. So move with your breath. Keeping this tension this whole time, pressing, stretching through those fingertips. We're just finding this rotation. We're getting into muscles, fascia, places of the body that don't often get our awareness, our time, and our attention. On your next inhale, you might open it all the way up. Exhale, close, moving with the breath. Pausing, exploring anywhere that feels good to you. You know your body so much better than I do. All I'm here to do is make suggestions, but I trust you. I trust what your body tells you. And together, we'll learn to hear it with more ease. When you're ready, rise up tall, beautiful. From here, a big forward fold, but we're going to find our wide slice. So taking a wide slice with the legs and check in, because sometimes the body's hungry for a real big slice, right? But check in with the appetite, your movement appetite. Sometimes it wants a real big slice, but it looks like this. And every day is different, and that's why we check in. And sometimes, we take that big old slice and the body's like, I'm not that hungry for movement. That's all right, put it back. Ain't no stress. Find what works. And then when you're ready, press through the heels of your feet, flex your toes towards your heart. This stretches the back body from the low back, through the back of the legs, through the bottom of the feet, the toes. We are getting this back body stretch. Now we want to bring it up into the low back, into the shoulders and the neck, right? So we do this on an inhale, bring length through the spine, press tall. On your next exhale, lower the belly and the heart towards the earth. So now we're getting the stretch into the hips and the low back. Because the legs are out wide, the stretch has moved from the lumbar spine into the SI joints, into the hip socket. So we're lowering, melting the belly and the heart. Nice and slow. Our ego is tempted to get down, right? To show ourselves or others how far we can go. And the truth is, the greatest reward is in the slow melt. It's in setting the ego aside. And then your toes, they're going to want to travel inward. It's natural. Gently invite them skyward. As the heart melts, maybe you walk the hands away. Maybe you lower the top of the head towards the earth, deepening this stretch all through the back body. Decide where you want to be. Explore. From wherever you are, slide the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to find a bit of a twist here. So your left hand, you're going to slide it on over towards that right hand and then plant the forearm. So I'm just planting my forearm in front of me. You might leave that left hand palm up or down, you decide. From here, pressing into that left forearm on an inhale, right? We're going to reach that opposite arm skyward. So we're still in this big fold and we're finding this twist. Maybe it's a lot, maybe it's a little. We get this westernized idea that a lot is good and a little is less good. Absolutely not. Being where the body says yes, where your mind is present with sensation, that is the most good, right? When you're ready, lower on down, plant that opposite forearm on an inhale, twist when you're ready. Big folded twist. This gets even deeper into those hips. Check in with the toes. Have they traveled inward? Can we invite them skyward once more? And then melt that arm down. From here, we're going to walk the hands on over towards the right. As far as the body wants to go, maybe you straddle that leg, maybe not. If you're like me and you've got a sweet belly or chest, I invite it towards the inside of the thigh in this empty space, and then turn my heart center. So it's this gentle solar plexus twist here. Turn my heart center to align with the earth or the top of this leg here. You might slide the hands down towards the feet. If you're letting that left hand touch that right leg anywhere, this is bilateral stimulation, powerful for healing the nervous system. You might just take time to give that right leg a massage here. And I always say, you can say things like, this is my leg. It's mine. It's part of my body. It belongs to me. You might even speak like, ooh, it's so powerful. Look how strong it is. Leg, you've been through so much. Look at you healing, leg. Take time, own it, speak wonderful things over it if that feels right. And then when you're ready, walk it on over. Ooh, the whole back body. This is such a deep opening. Take your time. Plant the hands where they say yes, right? We're listening to the whole body. Rotate those toes back skyward. Whew. Make space for the belly and the chest. And then if it feels right, touch. If touch feels good, claim it with words. You are mine. This is part of my body. If that feels good, offer it some juice, some love. Look at you, powerful, strong, dirty from all your hard work, calloused, beautiful, living, alive, trying your best every day. My God, I am so lucky to have you as mine. When you're ready, curl up vertebra by vertebra. Ooh, big back body opener. Take some time here. And then we're going to move on to our hands and knees a few different ways. You might cross your feet and roll up. You might take some time for a more gentle transition. Either way, invitation to let the pad, whatever you're seated on, find its way beneath your knees. If we're protecting the wrists, again, grabbing blocks, grabbing an ottoman, planting the forearms. Be where the body says yes. Traditional cat-cow. From our tabletop, an inhale drops the belly low, head and the tailbone curl skyward. Exhale, press the mat away, curl it into cat. Back and forth. We've been here 1,000 times before. Opening the front body here from chin to tailbone each time we inhale to cow. And then opening that back body each time we exhale to cat. And if we want to get even deeper, right? More than from just the head to tailbone, you might, on your next exhale into cat, curling that tailbone in, pause here, and then extend the right leg long, curl the toes on the mat, press through the heel. So what you're doing is pressing the mat away, curling the tailbone in, that forehead or your third eye pressing towards that tailbone, really finding this C shape in your spine. And then we're taking the stretch all the way down the back body through that right leg, just by pressing through the heel, lengthening that hamstring out. So take a moment here in cat and pause. A few more breaths to stretch out that right side. And then bring that right knee in, find a neutral. Tabletop, let's switch sides. Extend the left leg long, curl the toes. And then press the mat away. Tuck that tailbone in, find your way to cat. Notice how this feels different than your traditional cat-cow from earlier. Can you feel the stretch through the back of the leg? Does it change what you feel in the low back or in the shoulders? Another breath or two here. And then bring that right knee in, find tabletop. Good. From here, let's curl the toes up, take a moment, shake out the wrists. We're going to explore now our cow pose and how to stretch the whole front body. So coming back down onto wrists, I know, a little break, right? Finding the cow pose, drop the belly low, give it a wiggle, let it all go. We're curling that tailbone skyward and then reaching that chin towards the wall in front of us, lifting through the top of the head, opening the front body. Now, instead of extending that right leg long, we're going to lift it skyward, bending that right knee, and then point the toe. And so what we're doing here, see if I can balance, is we're stretching the whole front body, especially up in this front right hip flexor. So the further you lift that chin, the further you lift that toe, the deeper the opening of your front body. Another deep breath or two here in your cow 2.0, if you will. And then switch sides. Find that neutral spine, curl it out, give the wrists a break if they need it, and then find your way there. Each deep breath lifts that toe a little higher, lifts that chin a little further. Beautiful. Go ahead and lower, find neutral. Let's find a back and forth flow in this like cat-cow 2.0 if it feels good, knowing you can move in a more traditional stance or even find just intuitive movement if that feels better. But from a neutral spine, on an inhale, starting with that right leg, drop the belly low, lift the toe and the chin. Exhale to cat. Extend that right leg long. Curl that tailbone in. So inhale, focusing on this right leg. Point the toe. Exhale, extend and curl. Can you really explore this movement in your body? Lengthening the whole front and back, knowing that we're not only finding release here, but we're building strength. Once or twice more, at your own pace if it feels nice, and then switch sides. Beautiful. Bringing that left leg into your flow. If we struggle with low back pain, hip pain, and our primary care providers are recommending movement, this is beautiful for just that. Once or twice more. And then bring it on down. Walk the hands back. We're going to rise up here. As I lose my mic. And then curl the toes on the mat. So an option here to hang out with toes curled just like this, or you might really get into the fascia at the back of the toes by setting the hips back. You might come down onto the hands, right, planting the fingertips towards the knees, and then press up into a squat, only if it feels good. So you might be on the toes and the balls of your feet now. It might feel good to keep the hands planted here. You might rise up, find a little balance, maybe even a little bounce on the toes, stretching through the backs of the feet. This is just beautiful movement for our body to do, getting down on the ground, used to these things. And then planting the hands down once more. Keep that left hand planted. On an inhale, we're going to twist that right arm open. Let the heart follow. Let the eyes follow that outstretched hand. And then on an exhale of your choice, close it up. Inhale, switch sides. Take time, be here, and then bring it on down. Beautiful. Crawling back onto the knees, stepping that right leg forward. We're going to rise up into Anjane Asana, keeping the back toes curled, lifting through the front body, through the head and the heart. You might sweep the arms up if it feels good, pressing those thumbs back behind you. Hanging out just like this for a breath or two. And then on an exhale, lengthen that front leg out. Let the heart melt down. Again, we're going to flex these toes towards the heart as the heart presses over the toes. And then sweep that right leg back. Switch sides. Find your Anjane Asana. Know that the hips can shift pretty far forward if it feels nice. But we always want to lift through the head and the heart. On an exhale, lengthen that front leg, flex the toes back, bow that heart forward. Wonderful. From here, sweep that leg back. Let's find ourselves on our backs. Keep that strap nearby. We're going to need it. Well, you might need it. Keeping the knees bent, planting the pads of the feet, lower your spine down, let it be messy. From here, an invitation to draw the knees in towards the chest. If you've got a sweet tummy, make space, come out wide. Pull it up towards the armpits and then bring them together as much as feels nice. Or grab a sweet strap. Either way, meet yourself in this cradle-like position. On an exhale, draw the forehead up towards those knees and then roll like a little egg back and forth, left and right. You might do front and back. Let it be messy. Take a moment to just roll around. Maybe you're a rock tumbling through a storm, down a river. And there you are, just being. Taking a moment to tumble about, to be present with what is, to let go of your ability to control, and just go with the flow. Back and forth a moment longer. And then when you're ready, lower that left leg down. Keep that right knee in towards the heart center. You're going to lengthen that left leg out. Press through the heel. Melt it down towards the earth. Nice stretch to that front hip flexor. And you might remain just like this, or you might take that right knee and twist it across the body. Now you can take the hand to weight it down. You can leave it and tee the arms out wide. You decide. Take a moment and melt. Take a moment to be present with what's happening in your body. Allow your mind's awareness to travel down into the areas of most intensity, where you feel the most sensation. And then notice if you can't breathe space into it. Can you inhale? Imagine your breath pouring into that space, stretching it. As you exhale, that intensity softens, the muscles relax, the fascia releases. You find a little more ease in your physical body. Just by breathing space with your imagination. When you're ready, roll upright. Let's Bring that left knee in. Take a second. You might remind yourself that you're that little rock tumbling down the river. And then lengthen that right leg out. Press through the heel. Lower it on down. We take time to stretch. So inviting that left knee up towards the heart. And then if, when, how, pull that knee on over towards the opposite side. Teeing the arms out wide is a big heart opener here. It can oftentimes feel better to bend at the elbows, plant the palms on the rib cage. You can even sweep your arms up top. There are no rules. They don't even have to do the same thing. Take time and explore your personal body. Know that it is magnificent, that it is so perfectly unique, that you are one in a chorus of human beings, and your uniqueness is so necessary to our chorus of unity, right? You are a part of what makes us whole. When you're ready, rotate skyward. Plant both feet. We're going to heel toe them out wide. Mat width, maybe a little wider if you've got wide hips like myself. And then we're going to drop that left inner thigh down towards the earth. You're going to come up onto the inside edge of that left foot. This left knee, mine always wants to flop open, or that right knee always wants to flop open. But instead, I'm going to squeeze my inner thighs together. That's a little awkward, but it's a really nice hip stretch. And you decide how intense you want it by how intense you squeeze your inner thighs together. So trust yourself. Explore. Your body is beautiful and unique, which is why you take time here in this space with me to get to know it again and again. Release, open up, switch sides, drop that inner thigh, squeeze those thighs together when you're ready. It's also why we don't judge ourselves, right? So many people have decided what health is, what beauty is, what wholeness is, and what we don't realize is it's all just some standard created by somebody. But that doesn't make it true. You are so worthy, just as you are. So we don't judge our shape, our experience, the fact that we look different than others look, especially here on the mat, because none of it matters. Because if it does matter at all, it matters because it's beautiful, because we are the chorus. Release when you're ready. Then let's take an opposite stretch. So heel toe the feet about hip distance apart. You're going to cross that left ankle over top that left thigh. This is also where a strap comes into play beautifully. And then the heel of this left hand is going to travel down that inner left thigh until it finds the inner thigh just by the hip crease. And then press it away. You might even press it away and roll it out to further open that hip. This big figure four. This is a lot, a big hip opener. Your body might be saying yes to taking this even deeper. And if that's the case, we're going to invite that right knee up towards the heart. Now you can brace through this loop here, but I like to make room for my belly and my chest. So instead, I just grab my left foot and left knee. Sometimes if my body is like, I need a little more space, I'm going to take my strap around that right shin. All roads lead here. Right? We are a chorus. Your body is needed. It belongs here just the way it is. If you want a real deep stretch on an exhale, you might curl the forehead up towards the feet. And then release when you're ready. Let's switch sides. First, press that inner thigh away. Take your time. Just because we know the path we're going to take doesn't mean we want to get there as quickly as possible. We still invite our mind to experience these sensations, to become present with what is. You might take a deep jaw stretch here, right? Open it up wide. Bring new experience, new reasons to become aware and present. If you'd like, deepen that figure 4. Oof, oof, oof. Hang out here for as long as you'd like. I forgot to show you this on the other side, and so you might actually repeat this to find balance. But this knee, this right knee, we can find a really deep piriformis stretch for that outer hip. If we take this right knee and gently pull it across the body towards the left armpit. So it's a gentle pull that might even get deeper into this outer right hip, if that feels good. So just a few different ways you can experience this and love on different parts of your body. Ooh, the kittens have arrived. Hello, babies. Y'all caught me. I got kittens. I got suckered by my children. You know how it goes. But they're so cute and snuggly. Another breath or two here, and then let it go. Release. Let's plant those feet hip distance apart and just start a knee sway from side to side. You might let it start out small. Hi, babies. I might have to go snag them here. But let that knee sway grow just as big as the hips delight in. And then we'll let both knees, as they fall towards the left, stay there. You might tee the arms out wide. You might even lift the head and turn it opposite those knees. Just a gentle spinal twist here. And then relax, melt, let it go. Let your jaw soften. You might even take a few deep breaths into that space behind your belly button, just to invite your nervous system to find an even deeper place of rest as your jaw and your tongue relax in your mouth. When it feels right, and only when it feels right, rotate your head towards the sky. Lift those knees. Let them fall the opposite way. Slowly lift the head, turning it. And let it melt towards the earth. Again, let every muscle fiber in your body release. If you slide, if you shift, if you get messy, yes, let it be a sign that your work is effective. Release and melt for a few more breaths here. Let your muscles and your fascia respond to these postures. Through nervous system regulation, we find these deep releases, these deep embodiments. We weave that in with the beauty of the 8-limbed practice of yoga. And here we are. owning our wholeness, our worth, and our oneness. When you're ready, the head rotates skyward, the knees lift. Let's take a minute in Shavasana, and then I'm going to go rescue kittens. Take up space, all the space. Reach out, like we are embracing all that makes us one. That reminds us that we are not alone, that we belong here. Our atoms with consciousness, we molecules with curiosity, being, breathing, and belonging. Again, melt, let it go, soften. Let the jaw and the tongue relax along with the shoulders and the hips. Let it trickle down even to the toes and the fingertips. Be here. Remain here for as long as you like. But if you would like, begin to awaken the body. And as you bring this gentle movement slowly into the physical body, as you bring the stretch, the curl, the shift, feel it. Allow your awareness to remain present. Explore. And then when you're ready, hey baby, you might roll up into a seat. You might bring the palms towards the heart center. In fact, though, if you want to honor the crown center, the lotus mudra, we bring the elbows together, the forearms and the wrists together, thumb tip and pinky tip press together. And here we become an 8-petaled lotus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It represents the 8-limbed path of yoga. And this mudra sits at the crown. And so you might bring it up here to the crown of the head. Open that lotus wide as you end your practice. This is symbolic. This is opening us up to the wisdom of the universe, right? The wisdom of the infinite. This is symbolic of our finiteness in our physical body and yet our infiniteness of our energetic self. And so as you hang out in this mudra, as you end your practice, you might once more remind yourself that you are so worthy, precious, valuable, a beautiful chunk of stardust with legs walking around and experiencing life. And once you own that, you start to realize that we are all that. And you start to see what an incredible world and an existence we could be living in if we all owned our worthiness. Thank you for spending time with me in this practice. Remember that the light in the dark in me sees the light in the dark in you, and we are the same. Hi, baby girl, this is Socks. She's very snuggly.